Welcome, MuddyTV cribs, to our crib. And what the hell am I doing on this side of the camera? All right, good afternoon. We're here at my home here in suburban Camp Point. This is the house I share with Marcy, my wife. If you didn't notice from the outside, it's a barn. We have been here, I think, 18 years almost now. If you'd notice here, this is the main entryway to where when it was a barn. This is where I had brought in all the equipment and tractors and whatever in the evening, wagons. The previous owners did the conversion from barn to home, and we bought it about 18 years ago, and loved every minute of it out here. Had a blast. You'll see throughout there are vestiges of it being a barn, and you can tell by the decorating that Marcy likes modern colors, and I go for more traditional antiques and things like that. Every time we decided to do some renovating, decorating, she came and said, "Here's the colors I want to use." And I said, "You're out of your mind." And of course we talked about it for quite a while and eventually compromised and did it her way. And so that's the colors you see around here. And then once it's up, you look at it and it works every time. She got that ability from her parents. Her mother in particular was great with colors and doing that. Her parents were Mary Ellen and John Inman, who owned Inman's Gallery in Quincy. And so you'll notice around there's a lot of pictures all around the walls here. We do a lot of decorating in that way. She did most of the framing. He did most of the painting of the pictures. You'll see pictures like the old tower down on Broadway, Larry's Tavern, Elders, Maid-Right, historic Quincy landmarks all over the place. And that's all through the house, everywhere. We lost both of them in the last couple of years, and so we got a lot of pictures now. You'll see that I'm a big Star Trek fan. I've got a whole bunch of stuff here and all through the house. Look, it's a Tribble. And all kinds of stuff like that. I've always been fascinated with aviation and aeronautics and aerospace things. This little rocket up here in the corner with the blue top on it, I've got a picture of me when I was about 10 years old on Christmas getting that, and I still have that toy. So that's always been something fun to have. Anyway, we'll move through here. You'll see up here something unique. If you know the history of, and that's Finn, by the way, down there. Hi, Finn. Finn relaxes a lot these days. This is before Hardee's was a restaurant called Sandy's that started up in Chicago area and came down here, and the way I understand it is that Quincy had the first franchise of Sandy's. I think that's right. I'm not sure if that's right for sure, but I think it is. That was a globe out of the restaurants. All the lights were like that, and Marcy's brother Brian had that. He found that at a garage sale or at a flea market somewhere, and had it at his home, and he had a lot of kids and thought that's a bad idea to have that around with a lot of kids, so he gave it to us to have. Kitchen area in here. We do a lot of cooking out here. Marcy works for Klingner's in Quincy and is out in the field doing survey work a lot of days and has to have her own food with her, so she cooks all her own stuff every weekend and has that ready to go. And I know the typical thing we do in MuddyTV cribs is we look in the refrigerator. So I'll show you what's in our refrigerator. Just a bunch of stuff. We've got, of course, egg rolls. Gotta have egg rolls. And there's some ribs I cooked out on the grill not too long ago, and some fruit and everything like that. So just some basics in there, nothing special. One of the previous owners that did this conversion, one of their family members owned a countertop company. So you can see all the countertops are all through the house are all the same. And the joke I've always told is everything but the toilet seats have that countertop stuff on it. Let's go in here to the living room and watch your step when you go in here. There's a step down. Get these lights on, good. So this is where the cows came in the evening, as I understand it. Over there we have just a half bath and washer and dryer in there. This bar, it was not here when we came in. I built that. The bar rail here, that is a picture frame from Inman's Gallery. Imagine that. And the top here is some real heavy-duty old wood out of a building in downtown Quincy that my buddy Brett Austin let me get out of there. I built this in parts. We brought it in here and set it up, and it works great for us. Back behind the bar up here, you'll notice there is a lot of memorabilia and old pictures of different people, and you'll notice there's kind of a theme as we go through all this. Like for instance, over the door up here, you'll notice from that side going this way, we've got Otis from Andy Griffith, we've got Graham Chapman from Monty Python, there's Ed McMahon, there's Barney from The Simpsons. Over here, there's Foster Brooks and W.C. Fields and all the, we'd call this the Wall of Drunks. And a buddy of mine has every year given me an autographed picture for a lot of years of different people who had kind of a legendary love of liquor. So around here, these chairs, this is an actual barber's chair. I got this out of Chicago, did some rechroming of it. And this is an optometrist chair. I used to work in a building right next to International Eye Care Center, and this was sitting out back, and they were gonna just throw it away, and I said, I'll take it for my bar. I keep wanting to get a third chair and get a gynecologist chair and have it set up here with the stirrups and everything, but that doesn't seem to go over real well with Marcy for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, all right, so here we go. More over here. Antique electronics. I've got a 1923 radio right here. That is an Atwater Kent radio. It does not work currently. I'm getting ready to get it restored so it does work, because that's one of my little weirdo passions is antique obsolete electronics. Moving on down here, my little Star Trek corner again. A couple of years ago at Christmas time, Marcy asked, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, oh, I don't know. How about a model? I want to build a model. I haven't done that for a long time. And we got looking around. The typical models of the Enterprise are about this big and they don't light up. This is one that, if you notice, it's roughly this big, and it has all the lights and flashing on it. And let's see here. Let me get this fired up. There we go. I can make the engine spin and everything on it. That took me about 3 or 4 months to build that. And it is as authentic as you can get with all the lights and the correct spots and everything. And of course a Klingon ship. And then down here, that's the sea view from Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea with all the lighting on it. Marcy does enjoy some retro stuff, some mid-modern stuff. And this is an old stereo that her aunt and uncle had. And she likes fish too, obviously. She does a little bit of craft work. This is something she built here, her little pipe guy. He took her, I don't know how long it took to build that, but I helped her with the electricity a little bit on it. And it's a fun little thing. She built a couple of things like that. The jukebox, that's a story all in itself. One Sunday morning, she got a message from somebody saying, hey, this is in a storage locker, and we are gonna throw it away unless you guys want it. Well, before she got done reading me the message, I was already in the truck and driving toward Quincy to get it. It was in about the condition it is now, just need to be cleaned up. I re-chromed some of the stuff on there, or had it done. Part of the mechanism worked, but part of it didn't. And I tried working on it, and I thought, if I go any farther, I'm gonna mess this up bad. There's a guy in Roseville, Illinois, who is, I think he's passed away now, one of the top jukebox guys in the US. And I took it to him, and he said, oh yeah, this is a 1957 blah, 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 blah. He went through the whole thing. He got it working, and I got it back here, and got it fixed up. The unique thing about this jukebox, and as far as I know, it's one of the older ones that does it. Come on around here. You see there's 2 needles. I'll hit play here in a minute, but if it's the A side of the album, the needle comes down from the top. If it's the B side, it comes up from the bottom and plays the underneath side and tracks to it, which is very unique. So I'll go ahead and hit the A side here. Let's see. So and you can watch the mechanism here. won't make you listen to Jim Dandy for the whole thing, for Black Oak, Arkansas. Although I did know those guys, I worked for them. Well, it's one of the things I used to do too, is I used to go out and do tour work for a couple different bands here and there. That's about it for down here. We can go upstairs and take, there's some more Star Trek stuff real quick up there. That's one of my latest acquisitions right there. That is an autograph from William Shatner and Ricardo Montalban from Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. And I all these years being a Star Trek fan, and I went to my first comic convention 3-4 months ago, and finally got that while I was there. Got talking to a guy, and he had that kind of in the back, and I got it from him, so it was pretty cool. All right, let's go upstairs. Okay, welcome to the palatial penthouse of Randy Industries. I work out of my home here, and this is where I do most of my business work at. You can see more. This was kind of the hayloft area up here, and you can see there's some factors of the barn as well there. If you go above the ceiling here, which is extremely hard to get up there, there's another 12 or 15 foot up there, and there's actually hay hooks still sitting up there in the rafters, but it's not an enjoyable trip to get up there. So let's move through here a little bit. A lot of times I work late at night and don't want to go downstairs and wake up Marcy, so I just sack out here for the evening. Very comfortable. In here, and come here and take a look at this light switch. I love this. Had to have a place to set up all my equipment so I can do transfers. I do a lot of transfers of people's old home movies and old audio memorabilia and things like that. So this is where I do a lot of that work at in here. I got several places up here I do that through. And also kind of the Museum of the Maulers up here, a band I've played with for 40 years. Out here, more equipment, more DVDs and whatnot. Set up here for doing 8mm films, old home movie films like this stuff. Do a lot of that stuff for people. Make DVD transfers here. Computer to run the whole thing. My stack of equipment down here, of spare equipment that I've got. When you get a chance to get a machine that still works, you get it, no matter what. Because there's fewer and fewer and fewer of those, and I've got them stacked up for a little bit. In here, another bathroom, and this is one of the color schemes that, again, I said, you're out of your mind. But it works for what it is. And I also do transfers in here as well, 8mm films. I gotta have counter space, so. Marcy has a craft room. She built that little pipe guy downstairs, and I don't think she's got any sitting around here, but she was doing duct tape purses for a while. And she did a good enough job on them that she copied a design from somebody, a well-known designer of stuff, and put it on eBay, and she got a cease and desist letter from California saying you got to cut that up and send it to me. But she does a lot of craft work and some sewing and whatnot in here. Enjoys that sort of thing. And we can go over here. Got a bedroom upstairs in case we have guests in. This is a clock. My father's parents got this clock for their wedding gift. And that was in, I want to say 1901, something like that. I'd have to look that up, but it still works. I had it refurbished a couple of years ago, and if I fired it up, it would sit there and ring for 8 days and keep us awake, so I don't do that very often. And we can go over here into, and there's Marcy's favorite actor, Carl Urban. She's always grudgingly put up with my Star Trek stuff, and we went and saw the first of the new Star Trek movies with Chris Pine and Carl Urban and Zachary Quinto. And when we came out, we walked out, she said, I don't want you to freak out here. Are you calm? Are you ready? I said, yeah. She goes, I think I've got a brand new favorite movie. Oh my God. Okay. Well, all right. So up in here, this is my office. It's where I do a lot of my video work. I do TV commercials. I do stuff for corporations, industrial educational videos. I do a lot of voice work for real estate shows all around the country, and whatever comes along. special events. I do a lot of dance recitals at certain times of the year. Actually had to get a brand new Mac Studio to complete everything here. Marcy says, since I own and operate my own business, Marcy says I work for the biggest asshole there ever was, because it's not unusual to be working for 12, 16 hours a day sometimes. So I did this wallpaper, custom wallpaper all on my own. So get in there close, see if you can read what it says. If you remember in The Shining, that's what Jack Torrance was typing up over and over and over as he was descending into madness. And so I went ahead and made up that. The entire wall is covered in that. And of course, there's a key from the Overlook Hotel, room 237, which is where it all happened out there. So that's about it up here. We can go take a look outside real quick and see what's going on out there. All right, so here we are out on the back porch. Again, this was something that was built by the previous owners. And the deck out here, it's under reconstruction right now. Built that about 12, 13 years ago. There was a little plastic dock just sticking out off the edge of the corner of the pond there. And we were out swimming one day and I swam up to grab the leg of it and there was no leg there. Okay, it's time for something to be replaced. And we thought, well, if we're gonna do it, let's do it big. Each side is 24 feet and then it's got a center connecting section. Built that, and then last year realized that the wood was getting pretty bad shape, so we went ahead and rebuilt it out over the water last year, and I'm rebuilding over the land this year. The plan is to rebuild all this here too, because this is probably from the 90s, I think. And so it's been around for a while. It's still holding up good, but still needs to be replaced. The pond is about an acre, and then we own that farm field out there, and a couple of outbuildings. And then we bought the house next door to us about 3 or 4 years ago now, and had run an Airbnb out of it. And it's been pretty successful for us. It's been working out really good. It was kind of a roll of the dice when we got it because the house was not in very good shape. But got it done, and it's worked out pretty good. So, gosh, that's about it, I think. Let's go back inside.
Maybe a drink, Randy.
Well, I can. Here, what do you want? How about a Wabarita?
Sure.
All right. So I've been asked by our guest here to make a drink, and the tables are turned. So you'll get a good one, don't worry. So we're gonna make one of Sammy Hager's Wabaritas. We'll do 2 shots of tequila. And we'll do, I didn't pre-unscrew the bottles, so they might be tight here. 1 blast of triple sec. And a little Cointreau.
Fancy stuff.
And some of this authentic real lime. I can get the lid off. That's not going to work. There it goes. Okay. A little bit of real lime in there. And then, this is just food coloring. That's all this is. Get that put back together. Get the lid on here. See if I can spray this all over the room. We gently shake it. We don't go hard. We don't do one of these things. This is a gentle shake. Calm and easy.
Why, thank you, sir.
Hi, I'm Vic, your bartender. How are you? What can I make for you?
Oh, another one of those.
He's got to share with the cameraman, like usual. It's usually me that gets this. I don't get any of this.
Thank you, Randy.
You like that or not?
Yeah, no, I do. It's
Okay.
delicious.
Well, add it to the mix at your local corner bar.
I shall.
Okay. All right. Well, that's about it for here, and thanks for coming. I think At this point, you've stayed your welcome. So I've got things to do, I've got videos to make, so time for you to hit the bricks. Out of here, go. Move it!